Football, game week, Jaguars. Let's get it. All right, guys, so we are here, week one of the NFL season. This is really what we live for. I know we talk all about free agency, the draft, OTAs, what's going on in training camp, but what is all that if he did not have the regular season? All that is nothing. This is what we live for, guys. It's football season. This is when talk becomes cheap and wins and losses are what truly matter. And I am so excited to be here. And we have a really fun matchup against a Washington Commanders team that seems to be pretty evenly matched with the Jaguars, it looks like on paper. Each team has its strength. Each team has its weaknesses. We'll kind of see how they complement each other. But with this, I do have a guest to bring on the channel. I have Louis T from the Louis T Network to come over here and break down the Washington Commanders side of things. So without further ado, let's hear what he has to say.
Week one, Washington Commanders host the Jacksonville Jaguars in a game that is highly anticipated for both fan bases. I've talked about this with the Washington Commanders fan base a ton, how we look at the schedule. In our schedule, we play the AFC South and we play the NFC North. Neither one of those divisions are all that great, and you feel like you should be able to dominate those divisions. But who are we as Washington Commanders fans to say that we should dominate anybody, right? We're not Dallas. I'd say that the Cowboys are the only team in the division right now that should be able to comfortably say, hey, we should win this game against Jacksonville or Houston. Even Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts at quarterback, I don't think can make that distinction quite yet, even though they've got a stacked roster. The quarterback controls everything, and if your quarterback doesn't play well, you don't have a chance. So we look at Jacksonville and we're saying, we got to beat the Jaguars. You know, we got the Lions in week two. We got to beat the Lions. And I'm pretty sure the Jaguars are saying, hey, we got to beat Washington. If we're going to win 7, 8, 9 games this season, we have to beat Washington. So I've told our fan base, while we're looking at all these teams, Jacksonville, Detroit, Houston, Atlanta, like food, okay? Those same teams are looking right at us like food. They're looking at their schedule and say, we better eat against Washington. Well, we've got our napkin tucked neatly in our shirt week one. When we see the Jaguars, we've got fork in one hand, knife in the other. We're ready to eat. But so are the damn Jacksonville Jaguars. They're ready to devour us. And somebody's going to eat. Somebody's going to eat good in week one, and I'm hoping it's my Washington Commanders. So here's what I think about the football game. This is a game that I think is going to come down to essentially in the trenches. I'm nervous about Trevor Lawrence's athleticism and his ability to escape the pocket. One thing that Washington doesn't do well is contain athletically gifted and mobile quarterbacks, whether it's escaping up the B gap because someone's rushed 12 yards up the field and thinks they're going to turn the corner and the quarterback's going to be just magically sitting there for them and opening up a massive hole in the B gap, or, you know, crashing down inside. We run a lot of twists and stunts as a defensive unit. And so guys get washed inside and all of a sudden the quarterback just moseys on outside of the pocket. No one's out there to keep contained. And now it's a gain of 8 on 3rd and 6. That happens to us all too often, especially against mobile quarterbacks. I know the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to use Trevor Lawrence as a runner, you know, in this game at least 3 to 4 times just to keep the defense honest. We have not been successful at stopping quarterbacks running read option. See Daniel Jones and the success he's had against us with his legs using read option. So it makes me nervous that Trevor Lawrence has the ability to hurt us with his legs. And so I think it is going to be imperative that we keep him in the pocket. Do not allow him to extend plays. It'd be nice if we can get after him, make him uncomfortable. This Jaguars offensive line is essentially a brand new group. You know, outside of Cam Robinson, it's 4 new offensive starters. Now, Brandon Sheriff is a former All-Pro, so he's going to come in and he's going to do his job and do it very adequately. However, the rest of these guys are unproven for the most part. Walker Little and all these guys, Luke Fortner. And so I feel like if Washington's defensive front, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, all former first-round picks, if they're able to get home, if they're able to at least fluster Trevor Lawrence, make him uncomfortable, make life a living hell for him up front, it's going to give Washington an opportunity to maybe force him into a mistake or two. Get off the field. We were one of the worst third down defenses in the NFL last year. We were 31st in the league on third downs. We haven't had success in the preseason, and that sent Washington fans over the top. With our lack of ability to get stops. Patrick Mahomes went 5 of 5 on the first 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. The Panthers went 2 of 3 on their three third downs with their first team out there, got a field goal. So we've struggled on third downs, to say the least. It's preseason. We'll see if it carries over from last year. But one thing's for certain, if we can get off the field on third downs, and the way we're going to do that is stopping the run on first down. Travis Etienne looks explosive, looks dynamic, looks like he's ready to make some big plays. That we can somehow corral him, bottle him up on early downs, and put the Jacksonville Jaguars in some third and long situations. It's going to give us an opportunity to get off the field, and then we have to take advantage of those opportunities to get off the field. You know what else would be nice? Some turnovers. We don't force a lot of turnovers. We were terrible in the plus-minus category last season because we don't generate a lot of turnovers. So it'd be nice to shorten the field, give the offense the football and the plus territory side of things. And so that's one thing I'll be looking at is in the trenches, can Washington dominate up front? Slow down the run game. The Jags are getting James Robinson back for the first time since his ACL injury. And so it'd be nice to slow him down, slow Etienne down, slow down Trevor Lawrence. And he's going to use his legs, Snoop Connor, whomever's out there, and force Trevor Lawrence to beat us with his arm and not his legs. If you're looking at Washington's offense, I think it's, again, in the trenches. The Jaguars' strength is their defensive front, and even their linebackers are part of that mix. I think their front seven is phenomenal. You add Devin Lloyd, you add Chad Muma, and then you look at the guys that are already there on the defensive line, Josh Allen, you add Trayvon Walker. I think Arden Key's been phenomenal in the preseason. So there are concerns. Washington's starting five offensive unit. The offensive line has not played a single snap together. We have two new guards. Our center is returning from a brutal and gruesome ankle injury that required multiple surgeries, so he hasn't played with any of the guards. Our right guard is new, and Trey Turner. He was dealing with a quad all preseason. We didn't have him since the second day of training camp, so a lot of moving parts here. But at the end of the day, they're all healthy now, and we're hopeful that everybody will play. And we're hoping to get our starting tight end, Logan Thomas, back, although I think he won't play until week 2 against Detroit. We'll see. Yeah, at the end of the day, this offense has Carson Wentz under center, and if he can't play well, then we won't have a chance in this game. And so I'm anxious to see if they can protect Carson Wentz, because if they can, we have the weapons to make things very interesting. Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel and J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson and Cole Turner, who's a rookie tight end that we're really excited about. And so there's so many weapons offensively that we can get the football to if we can just keep Carson Wentz upright. It'd be nice if we can run the football and kind of take some of that pressure off of him. We made it a point of emphasis to try and do that this year. And then our running back that we were going to start, Brian Robinson, gets shot in a botched robbery. And so he's not playing for the first month of the season at a bare minimum. And so Gibson's back in there. We know he's had fumbling issues. And so I fumbled in the very first preseason game, which is what got him benched in the first place. The Jaguars are going to be privy to this information. They're going to go after the football. He must protect the football. If he can't do that, it could be a long day. Same thing with Carson Wentz. If he can't protect the football, if he can't convert on third downs, it's going to be a long day for Washington's offense. We'll see what happens. I'm so optimistic about this offense. For the first time in a long time, probably since 2015, we've got a legitimate offense, probably since 2016. We've got a legitimate offense and quarterback in Washington, and that gives me the utmost confidence in this football team's ability to go out and score enough points to win this football game. I've got Washington winning this game 27-23 over the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 1. What says you guys? Check me out over on the Louis T Network. If you haven't already done so, I'd love to have you. I cover the entire NFL, not just the Washington Commanders. So I cover the Jaguars as well. Love to see you. Have a good one.
So huge shout out to Louis T. I'm going to leave all his links down in the description box down below. So definitely go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. Comment on his video because he's going to post a preview video with me in it and let him know the Jaguars are going to beat them down. All right, so let's get into it, man. The Jaguars go into this game extremely healthy. That includes James Robinson. He's going to be back. Coaches are saying full go. So we'll see what that means on Sunday. I don't know if that's going to limit him to 6 carries. I don't know if they're going to go out there and have him carry the ball 14 times. I don't know, but it looks like he is back healthy. So for the first time, we'll see the James Robinson, Travis Etienne combo. We also have Devin Lloyd back. Devin Lloyd missed most of the training camp due to a hamstring injury that he kind of nicked up right before training camp started, but he actually is on the depth chart as starting, so that's going to be exciting. And also Darius Williams is a guy that had off-season shoulder surgery. He'll be back, so we're fully healthy. The only guy on the injury sheet right now is Foley Fatukasi with a calf, but he's limited, but he is fully expected to play. So beautiful stuff, exactly how you want the injury sheet to look. And now we can kind of go into the depth chart. The Jaguars made some depth chart updates, and it looks like Jawaan Taylor has won the right tackle's job between, there's a competition between Jawaan Taylor and Walker Little. So it looks like he had a pretty good offseason. It looked like really the competition pushed him to become a better player. So hopefully he looks like a better player on Sundays and is not pulling the whirly birds on us. Also, Devin Lloyd is starting at linebacker. I'm really fascinated to see what kind of different linebacker combinations they put in there, what different sets they have on defense. So hopefully he has a big game. It stinks that he missed so much of the preseason, but he was able to get some action in the Falcons game, got his feet wet. He was a little bit, you could tell he was thinking a little bit too much. I'm excited for him to start playing free and start playing more instinctual, but, it was good to have him back. Now, this game, when you look at it, it's a big Carson Wentz versus Trevor Lawrence type of matchup. Now, Carson Wentz is a guy who seems like he has all the pressure on him. It doesn't seem like a lot is on Trevor Lawrence, but a lot is on Carson Wentz. Look, he's going into his 7th NFL season, his 3rd year starting as a starting quarterback on his 3rd different team. So there is that. And also, Doug seems to probably know Carson Wentz more than Ron Rivera probably knows Carson Wentz. Look, Doug Peterson has coached Carson Wentz on several different years over there for the Philadelphia Eagles. He knows what gets to him. He knows, his thought process on a lot of things. So I think that is a huge advantage, Jaguars. And even Press Taylor knows him very well, even though Press Taylor and him aren't going to be competing in a sense just because he's offense coordinator, Carson Wentz's quarterback. But yeah, Carson Wentz has a lot of pressure on him. Last year, it did not work out very well for him in Indianapolis. Now, he had good stats, but he just wasn't able to take the team over the top the way the Colts wish that he had. So now he's going into this team, and it's like, okay, this could be my last shot. This could be my last shot to go into a year as a starting quarterback. But I will say Carson Wentz can be very good. Look, last year, 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. That's pretty much a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. And for the first time, he has a whole lot of weapons. When you look at the receiving game, Terry McLaurin, awesome wide receiver one. They just drafted Jahan Dotson at wide receiver. Awesome receiver. They have Curtis Samuel back. I know you haven't heard that name in a few years, but he is back and healthy. So he has some really good guys to throw to. Now, what should the Jaguars do? They need to be aggressive on Carson Wentz. Look, they got to go in there and get pressure. You saw in Week 17 in Jacksonville, or Week 18, I think it is now. No, it's Week 18. Yeah, Week 18. Sorry, this new schedule's throwing me off a little bit. The Jaguars pressured him early and often, and it led to him having 2 turnovers, 1 interception, 1 fumble in the pocket, and it really affected him. The Jaguars need to go out there and get some pressure on Carson Wentz early and often. The Jaguars, they finally need to start generating turnovers. Last year, the Jaguars were only positive 4 games in a turnover differential. Jaguars won 3 out of those 4 games. The Jaguars need, all the wins have come when we've had positive, turnover ratios. So that needs to start happening. We need to start generating turnovers and not allowing the offense to keep starting the ball between the 15 to the 25-yard line. Set up the offense in good field position. It also helps build your momentum and also helps silence the crowd. This is an away game. They're playing in Washington. Washington fans love their football. So let's go in there and surprise some of those folks. So some of my and when I say be aggressive, some of my keys, I guess a big key for me is I want to be aggressive on offense. Look, I watched a lot of college football this weekend. The thing I see so much in college football is coaches protecting their quarterbacks. They're throwing bubble screens. They're throwing throws in the flat, swing passes. They're doing a lot of out routes. Look, I want Doug Peterson to be able to have Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball all over the field, middle of the field, over the top, throw some bubble screens. Just don't limit any of his throws. We need to be aggressive, and especially against a team with Washington who doesn't have a great linebacker core. Attack the middle of the field. That's a big thing. I don't want, and we've seen in the past with coaches being too soft and protecting quarterbacks like Blake Bortles. No. And Doug Peterson, the great thing is that he is an aggressive guy. He's an aggressive guy. We'll just say that. So that's a big thing. Now, some things I want to see on offense. I want to see James Robinson's workload. That's something that really interests me because, the coaches keep talking like, oh, everything's fine. He's normal. He's normal. How normal is he? Okay, talk is cheap. We're going to see on Sunday how healthy James Robinson is. I want to see who Trevor Lawrence is targeting most. Look, we have so many new weapons, guys. So many new weapons. Christian Kirk. You have Zay Jones. How about Evan Ingram? You even have Travis Etienne back. I wonder if there's a guy who Trevor Lawrence tends to gravitate to most. Last year, a lot of his targets are gone, probably for the better. I mean, Treadwell. You had Taven Austin out there, Laviska Shenault. Just a lot of not elite talent. I'll just say that. I also want to see how we do in the red zone. The red zone is something that we weren't good at last year, and we weren't very good at in the preseason. And of course, preseason, can I just give a quick thank you? Preseason is over. It can be tough to watch, but how do we do in the red zone? That's a big thing to monitor. Now, man, Jaguars have some nasty streaks going on here that we could potentially break in this matchup. One is that the Jaguars have lost 16 straight games against NFC opponents. 16 straight games. The Jaguars haven't won a Week 1 game or an away game since Week 1 in 2018 against the Giants. I was at that game, and I'll tell you what, that feels like 4 years ago. Man, it's a bad streak. And the Jaguars have also not had a road win since the Raiders were in Oakland. The Jaguars closed Oakland Stadium in 2019. The last game Oakland played in Oakland, or the Raiders played in Oakland. Gardner Minshew went in there and helped lead a victory. So, man, that's some nasty. Those are some nasty things that we could potentially break this one. As bad as the Jaguars have been the last 5 years, we're 3-2 in season openers the last 5 years. So that's something positive to look at. So, really, with this one, man. When it comes to a score prediction, come on, guys, look at me. All the Commanders fans, like Louis T was saying, they're all saying Commanders are going to win. Jaguar fans are saying the Jaguars are going to win. I'm a Jags fan. I'm supporting my team. It seems like a 50-50 matchup. I'm going with the Jaguars, man. How about we call it 23-20? I think it'll be a close one. I'm hoping that we edge them out and we can start off partying, man, because it will be a lot of fun. And I will say, guys, I will be live streaming this one. Super excited. Come join me, man. We'll be live streaming right here at the house. Have my family over. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys want to watch the game along with me, you guys can do so in that manner. And with all that said, let me know what you guys think of the matchup. How excited are you guys? Where are you guys going to be watching? Are you guys going to the game? You guys watch? Let me know, man, because, man, these next few days can't go by fast enough. We're back into weekend starts. Let's fast forward to Sunday mode. So yeah, first game tonight, Rams, Bills. Just a lot of excitement going on now. So with all that said, I appreciate you guys for watching. Drop a like on your way out. Go Jags.
Okay, Jacksonville Jaguars. Too much for your crew to handle. Keep it lit, and this is the #1 YouTube channel by UCF Jaguar. Yeah, we about to blast off. If you've been a fan, then this is the dopest platform. Yeah, never hold back. Gotta represent for the teal and black.